Hey everyone, don't mind me. I'm just here to fill in. It's supposed to be story time, I wanted to share a story with you guys. It's a small one, not that long, maybe just a few minutes. And I just wanted to get some of those feelings out there. I had these friends this one time. Good friends, not always the best. You know, one might call them a bloke. Well, a young chap. And these chaps, oh, did I tell you, they were quite the chappers. They loved to yap, yap, yap like a chappa, chap, chap. Now, just thinking about it, I thought of one thing. These young chaps are really not my friends. Now, to get to the bottom of this, these young fellows went to the market, fresh produce, everything. We were trying to have a good night out, invite the lasses over later on, and you know, have a good time. No gang banging or anything, just a good old time. If something happened, well, we'd go our merry ways. We wouldn't indulge in such a monstrous mess, because we are people of taste and respect, and that's what we must project all the time. These fine young fellows, as one may call them, maybe, decided to go overboard that evening, you know, as we left the market. One of them actually shoplifted, trying to stick something up his butt, you know. That's what you do, I guess. I guess he had prior experience with that because he did it without even my knowledge. He hid a whole fifth up his butt. It was a nice bottle of scotch that cost about 70 pounds. It was quite the excursion, as it may call it. And I just thought, and I had to find this out the hard way on the way back because he was bleeding out of his rectum. We had to go to the hospital. So yes, this is only get to later on that evening, but yeah, that took up a good chunk of our evening, as the guy had to get stitches up his rectum while bleeding out a bunch of scotch from his asshole. And it was quite disturbing, and it kind of set the mood for the rest of the evening. So yeah, say we went there about 2:30 in the afternoon. We didn't get back until about 9. We said, screw it, we're going to still have a good time. But our friend, obviously, he couldn't partake as much, at least. But, well, he thought it was a good idea. The hospital visit was quite the raunchy uh, little adventure, to say the least. But we made it through. I don't know how he made it through, but he did, and to this day he seems to still be doing fine. An occasional time where he takes a dump or takes a shite, and he tells me how much it burns. It's really the only story he has nowadays. And that's unfortunate, but that's what happens when you stick a fifth of scotch up your ass, and you think it's a good idea. And it's a glass bottle. I mean, you can't expect something good to come from that. So that's kind of disturbing, but it's like it's almost traumatizing. It's almost sticking in my brain a little too much. But yes, later on that evening, we got back around 9, freshly stitched up the arse, and we decided to go on with the evening. The lasses would eventually come over, probably around 9:45, 10 o'clock in the evening. And we decided to shoot the shit and all that good stuff. And it was quite the evening, minus the drunken shenanigans, as one would call them, I suppose, as my American friends would say, I suppose. It was a good time, and then realized that one of my friends decided to put, so-called friends, decided to put, one of those date rape drugs in the drinks. And since he didn't know which one was the chicks, he put them in all of them. So it turned into a mistake of grave proportion, and he thought it was a good idea. This made little sense. But he was already drunk, so I guess it kind of made sense, but not really. I guess if you're drunk, you're not going to know which one, and you're just going to say screw it, all of them. And yeah, we all got so screwed up. And I found out later because it was prescription sticking out with pills on the floor. You know, this name on it. You don't put a bunch of anxiety supplements, or I should say medications, in people's drinks to get them knocked out. I mean, it was a Xanax. Why would you do that? He did it, and well, thankfully, nothing too raunchy happened. You know, as they say in a lot of rock and roll documentaries, and Spinal Tap would do well as wonders for this. But then, yeah, we end up getting shot off on knockers, and then we, you know, obviously we forget a lot what happened. We wake up in the morning, it's like maybe 11 o'clock in the morning, so late, but thankfully it was a Sunday morning, didn't have work, and realized that young chap that left his bottle had left. All the women were gone too. Now, while I said there wasn't really anything that happened, that was my mindset when it happened. When we woke up, you know, you're dazed and confused. You realize he was trying to drug you and then get the women. Now, I know it may sound anticlimactic, but the chap that did this is the same one that got his asshole bumped. Realized that those three chicks were transsexuals, and he decided to have sex with them after he got stitches, if you know what I mean. And no wonder it burns to this day. Yay, bloke, man. I'd get that checked out. Very strange. Turns out that they actually took him, wanting to be date raped. But regardless, I guess they didn't. They just happened to do it, and they turned out to be quite the vile, despicable human beings. I guess they were all posing. Maybe it was just a giant dildo he took. I don't know, it's all fuzzy. But I found out by calling him. His phone was there. He showed up later. My friends, we were discussing this, but then my other friend left. I was just there by myself. It's very weird. I know it doesn't sound like much, but it was just a weird evening. It was very weird. Yeah, very weird. Sorry to drag you into this.